So folks say death comes riding on a pale horse. But my friend, I'm here to tell you, it won't always arrive the way you expect. Sometimes it comes rolling down iron rails, carrying souls who have forgotten how to let go. Pull that log closer to the fire. This one is gonna tug at your heartstrings. This was a few winters back. I was riding through cattle country looking for work when the storm caught me about 5 miles outside a little place called Eagle Hollow. That's when I met old Bill, kindest man you'd ever did see. Offered a complete stranger shelter without asking any questions.
You look like you could use a warm meal and a dry place to sleep, son.
Much obliged, sir. I could work for my keep.
I got a few animals that need pending. It's simple living for him, but peaceful if you can ignore the train that passes every night.
Now, I've ridden through that country plenty of times, and I couldn't recall seeing railroad tracks anywhere near Eagle Hollow. Bill's place was humble but well kept. He'd been a veteran of the war between states, and his hands showed the honest work of his lifetime. What struck me the most was his demeanor. I don't think of old soldiers. Most carried their battles in their eyes, but Bill was calm, kind, though there was a deep sadness about him, like a man carrying an invisible weight. Every evening, regular as clockwork, he'd step outside and walk the property.
Angie, you out there, sweetheart? Daddy's looking for you.
When he'd come back inside, he'd go straight to his room. I could hear him talking through the thin walls. Strange thing was, I never heard another voice answer back. Never saw hide nor hair of his wife, though he spoke to her every single night.
Checked down by Miller's Creek again, Becky. I asked Mrs. Patterson if she'd seen our girl. Still nothing. I know, darling. I know. She'll come around when she's ready. My wife shouldn't pour you tonight, but she left us some soup warming by the stove. Let's go eat.
It was during our evening meals that Bill would start complaining about the train.
Dang that locomotive. Used to be peaceful here before they laid them tracks down. Just listen to that whistle. How's a man supposed to get any rest? Every dad and I at the same time. Where will it end?
But I didn't hear anything, friend. Not such as a cricket's chirp. The night was quiet as church on the Monday. One morning, I found Bill sitting by the window, tears streaming down his wetted cheeks.
She left me, son. My Becky. She said she bought the ticket long ago and had to catch the next train. Said she had been waiting too long already. She couldn't wait anymore.
That's when I decided to get some answers. If there was a train running through Eagle Hollow, somebody in town will know about it. I rode into town and sought out the oldest resident, a man named Crawford who had been living there for 50 years.
So you're staying with old Bill, eh? Good man, that one. Drag your story, though.
He keeps talking about his wife and daughter and some train that runs at night.
Bill used to be the happiest man in 3 countries. Had a beautiful wife, Rebecca, and her little girl Angie, sweet as apple pie. Now, this was back in '76. The fever came through the winter, took up town, and cleaned Rebecca and little Angie. Bill's never accepted it, son. Been talking about their ghosts for nights on 8 years now. As for that train, well, I ain't a superstitious man, but folks around here say death rides the rails, collecting souls that refuse to move on. Maybe that train's been waiting for Bill's family all these years. Maybe it's finally time for them to take their seats.
Much obliged for the coffee and the truth, sir.
You be careful riding back, son. Sometimes the living get caught up in journeys meant for the dead.
I rode back to Bill's place with a heavy heart, knowing I had to find a way to help this broken old man face reality. But when I got there, the animals were restless, whining and clunking like they sensed something was wrong. Found him in the living room, hanging from the center beam. peaceful look in his face, like he'd finally found rest. Left a note on the table. It said,
I've been lying to myself for years. It's time I bought a ticket on that train. Vicky, Angie, bet he's coming home.
I stayed that night to keep watch, waiting for the ticket to arrive in the morning. That's when I heard it for the first time, a train whistle echoing across the valley. I stepped outside and saw it with my own eyes. The train made of moonlight and memories, rolling down the tracks that weren't there in the daylight. And there was Bill, walking hand in hand with a beautiful woman and a little girl. He turned back once. Bill tipped his hat at me before climbing aboard. And then the train's whistle gave a long, mournful call, then faded into the night. And for the first time in years, Eagle Hollow was truly quiet. Found out later that Bill had been buying train tickets for 8 years. One for him, one for his wife, one for his daughter. Never used them, just kept them in a box by his bed, waiting for the day when you'd have the courage to take that final journey. Some folks say grief can drive a man crazy. Others say love is stronger than death itself. So you ever hear a train whistle in the night where there is no tracks? Run, friend. Say your prayer for the souls aboard. They've been waiting a long time to finally go home.